All right, my 2019 was lit. Of these years as an adult, this has by far been my favorite year. Between really focusing on my goals and putting actions behind my goals and strategically planning everything out, working on my personal self and making sure that my inside was good, my heart, my soul, making sure that I connected with new people, making sure I kept the relationships good that I already had brewing, and also just taking advantage of finally making some money and just enjoying it. So I landed in Atlanta. It took 30 days to study the event and entertainment market in Atlanta. I got a chance to sit down and have sessions with an artist named Schoolie and basically listen to his project. I got to get my hands dirty with a little artist management and learn a little bit more and build reputable connections with people in the industry. I got to go down there and just kind of eyeball how they do their marketing and like their strategies and how things work for them. And the one thing that stood out to me was that in Atlanta, it could be multiple events going on, they're all gonna slap. Here in Detroit, that's not really the case. Like, we have to kind of be a little bit more careful about when we plan our days because Detroit's a hard crowd. But I did apply and audition for a reality TV show. So I do everything, all the work I do virtually. And I kind of been... It was a very, very fun experience. They did not end up moving forward with me or the show in general. I never really got feedback as to why, but it was really cool to see how that process goes down, and it'll prepare me for the next reality TV show that may come to Detroit. What else did I do in Atlanta? I was broke, but February, March, April was kind of like slow for me. I didn't really do too much. I just actively worked on handling all the pre-logistics for Twerking Tequila, for that Twerking Tequila launch in May with an announcement in April. And so I gathered content, I found a host, anybody who I wanted to be involved, I got the graphics, I reached out to the DJs that I wanted to be down, made sure that if there needed to be some type of travel arrangement that we had that handled. I planned out the rollout, I reached out to sponsors, and that was pretty much my February to April. And then in April, I launched. April 9th, I launched the reboot of Twerking Tequila Cinco de Mayo. And that day that I dropped the tickets, them tickets sold out. Okay. I'm a baby and I'm crying. But I got 25 tickets left in my tier 2 tickets. And this shit, dude, I can't even think straight. But am I about to sell out in 24 hours? Like, are y'all going this wild for me? I didn't ask for this. I didn't expect y'all to go this crazy, but this is so wild. Bro, do you know how many tickets I put at pre-sale? Basically, I went that whole month not worried about making the money because I made the money for the event that day. It was like I want to say $3,500 investment, and that same day I made $4,000. Pretty cool, eh? So just kind of coasted in April. I worked out, planned my outfit for the event. I tried to get a sponsor, but kind of like the relationship I was building for the Twerking Tequila in May, I feel like I got played because I reached out to this liquor company and they ended up like working with the venue to basically do a sale, and they sold the bottles at really cheap so the bar could make good money that day, but it was really nothing for me, and I just feel like I got played. I'm not gonna say what company it was, but I just got played a little bit in that regard. But outside of that, it was a flawless event. I had over 700 guests, a good time, and I made a lot of money that day. in July we did a twerking tequila in Detroit. So we did the second twerking tequila in Detroit. I usually try to do 2 twerking tequilas in Detroit and then 1 in a different city. So that's like my stamp of approval, whatever you want to call it. But I try to give Detroit 2 twerking tequilas a year. We did that. Ended up having to. I had one venue on lock. It was my dream venue. And then the day of, I had to switch venues. So twice already this year, I had to do emergency switches to venues. Originally in Detroit, it was going to be at 350 Terrace, which is an outdoor event space that holds about 1,000 plus people. And the day of, the heat was astronomical. Like, the news was like, yeah, this is not the day to be outside. And I just thought it was a really, really big risk to have people dancing and drinking and gathering when it's 90 degrees, but it feel like 150 degrees. So I moved it from 350 Terrace to Annex, which was indoor, and their air was not working that well that day, but it worked out. I again probably had about 700 people come, and it looked good. People had a good time, so I was happy. And then after that, we chilled. And then I went on vacation for a few days in Costa Rica with my homegirls, a surprise trip. If you go back a few videos, you'll see the vlog from my Queens trip, which was really, really fun. And during my Queens trip, I had to work. I ended up working on Twerking Tequila Chicago and announcing Twerking Tequila Chicago. So that was my 4th Twerking Tequila this year. So I worked with, shout out to Hustle Simmons, who partnered with me to throw a Twerking Tequila Chicago at Promontory, which is a really, really cute space in Chicago. It also has an indoor-outdoor setup. It was just perfect. That was a perfect party because Chicago surprised me. I think the Thursday before the event, I only had 40 tickets sold. Now, if you throw events, you know that's like, I ain't about to make no money, I'm about to lose money. And I had already lost money once, so I was scared. And then I think like the next day, it just started to pick up. Like, people were like, okay, I'm gonna go to this. And Twerking Tequila Chicago was really, I had to put in a lot of work promotion wise for Twerking Tequila Chicago, because at this point Instagram was denying all of my sponsored posts, so nobody could see the videos or the flyer. Nobody could see any of that in Chicago. So I got smart, and I just searched like people location who were in Chicago, and I was commenting on their pictures, hey, it's Twerking Tequila Chicago, see you there. And it was working. It worked. So day of event, we had between 400 and 500 people show up, but 2 days before it was only 40 tickets sold. So you just, with this whole events thing, you just really gotta be patient, and you gotta just be faithful, because it's stressful sometimes. Basically took 2 months off. During those 2 months I worked out. I didn't lose no weight. And I also I worked out, I chilled, and I didn't make no money. But the previous months were rewarding, so I was careful with my money, because I knew that a drought would come, and so I didn't spend too much money those 2 months. I knew that October I was gonna do some traveling, and I wanted to do professional development, so I pretty much chilled in September and just made sure my bills was paid, and I didn't even go out too much, because I had to save money for October. So moving into October, I went 3 places. I went to Los Angeles for the Revolt Summit. I got to be in the room with Diddy. I got to meet some cool people that I think that I'll have everlasting relationships with for the rest of my life. I got to meet a very close peer of Sean Combs, and ever since that day I've only drank De Leon tequila and Ciroc vodka, because I'm manifesting Diddy energy into my life. So that was the Revolt Summit. I got to take a few takeaways from the different panels that were there, and yeah, meet some cool people. And then from there I went to A3C in Atlanta, which is another music tech and film festival, and I actually got to volunteer and work to escort a lot of the people that were guests for A3C, and I built some connections that way, and I just learned a lot about like the festival market in general. November, I announced Twerksgiving. Many people thought it was a twerk and tequila, but it wasn't. It was another curated event by Connect with Low. It's my take on a day before Thanksgiving event. You know, the day before Thanksgiving is the biggest bar night in America, so I have to tap into that market. But that actually ended up being one of my favorite executed events because there were many layers to that event. Not only was it a party, but it was an effort to give back to the community that gives to me. So with Twerksgiving, I did a class giving, and I worked with different classrooms to fund, basically, or sponsor a classroom. And each classroom got about $300 in supplies, and I'll be working on that vlog right after this one, so you'll all be able to see that. But and outside of that, I partnered with Lyft, and I was able to basically give guests a discount to and from Twerksgiving using a specific code, because, you know, with it being the highest bar night, that means that it's a lot more drinking going on, and I did not want to promote drunk driving. So I partnered with Lyft, and we were able to save some lives that night, which was cool for me. That event ended up being very, very successful. It was very eye-opening, and it taught me that I've outgrown my market here in Detroit, and it's time to expand to bigger venues, because I think L Club Indoor can only fit about 500, and I hit capacity by like 12:30, and the event ended at 3. So moving forward, I gotta get a bigger space. And moving into 2020, I want to have more self-control, and I want to have, if I say I'm gonna do something, I have to do it like on a personal level. So 2 of my goals is to lose weight and to look like the person I used to look in 2017. I used to be skinny in 2017, like Snatch. I'm ready to get back to Snatch Low. Snatch Low is making a comeback, okay? And then outside of that, I want to save money. I think that ending 2020, I'm gonna finally move out of my people's house. So before I move out, I want to have $20,000 saved. So I want to have $20,000 saved, and I want to have all my debt paid off. So in 2019, we enjoyed the money. We made the money. We enjoyed it. We bought whatever I wanted to do, wherever I wanted to go. I went there. I took it there. I rented the cars. I ate $60 pasta. But moving into 2020, it's all about being frugal and hitting those financial goals. So I'm going to save money. If it's not a bill, if it's not what I already have planned with my money, we cannot do it. And that's that. But yeah, I'm excited. I think it's going to be a really, really good year. Professionally, Twerking Tequila is going to do 8 dates. Connect with Low in general is going to do 10 to 12 dates. I'm going to get me a boyfriend. I want to tap more into being an influencer, and really getting sponsored to use my influence. I also am going to be a Bumble ambassador for Detroit, so you'll be getting monthly curated events from Connect with Low, which will be very, very fun. And I just want to have another amazing year, and I'm excited to bring you all along with me again. So down below, I want you to tell me what you have going on in 2020, and I'm gonna hold you accountable. And make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Peace.